up, guys? Welcome to Bold Chat. I'm Angela Belcamino. I'm so excited you guys are here today. Bold Chat is brought to you by Network Access Group. We are so excited to be back. I hope everyone had an amazing Thanksgiving. If you have not already checked out the link in my bio, please do follow me over on Rumble so that you don't miss any of the streams or the weekly podcast episodes, Bold Talk, which releases on Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We do Bold Chat live streams every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Thanks, guys, so much for being here. Please interact with us. We love to chat with you. We want everyone to join in the conversation and in the fun. So please do. I will do my best to get through comments, feedback, questions, and pull it up onto the stage. Thanks, guys, so much for being here. I'm so excited. We have some veteran returner guests here tonight, Jay and Kevin Smith. And then we have three bold baddies here for the first time. So we've got Jay, Kevin Smith, Hannah Griff, Gabby, and Madeline. Guys, thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited. This is awesome. I appreciate it. I don't know if you guys want to, ladies, if you want to just like say anything about yourself, a little bit about who you are, or any fun fact, I don't know, to kick it off. Hannah, I'm going to you first.
All righty. Let's see. Fun fact. I have 5 cats. People always like that one. And, I do this politics thing for fun on the side. So follow me on X. My handle's down on where my little name bar is. So yeah, I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We're so happy you're here. I mean, we've interacted before on, we have a mutual friend, Chrissy Mayer.
Yes.
We've done some cats with her together. So that is always a lot of fun. And hopefully we'll get Chrissy on here soon too. And that'll be a really fun and bold chat also. So so excited. And Hannah, what area do you live in?
I am
representative.
Yes, I'm in Oregon. So outside of Portland, I'm kind of in a rural area, but the closest major city is Portland, unfortunately.
I have not spent any time there, but no, it's good. We have some like southeast, some northeast, some west coast. We got a lot going on here. So it's a really representative, diverse group. So I love that. Gabby, I'm so excited you're here. We've all interacted on X, but have never interacted, kind of face to face.
Yes, that is true. Well, fun fact about myself, I did medical school abroad for 4 years, and while I was there, I actually, with a friend, we founded a classic liberal youth organization, and we're still running it to this day. So I guess I love politics, always have more in the intellectual side. So I really hope this conversation goes amazing.
Yeah, no, I will definitely say I know you guys are new to Bold Chat, but it's kind of a continuation of conversations that I think we've all like started having on X and on Spaces, which I think is how we all kind of know each other. And, now we're just growing our network, which is really, really nice. But it's been really cool. We were kind of talking about that before the stream started, just about connecting with people and having respectful, like open dialogue, all of us with different backgrounds, experiences, perspectives, and just kind of trying to find the common ground and bridge gaps and I guess modeling and raising awareness about the fact that you can disagree about some things, but, and it's okay. It's actually really normal that we don't all agree about everything. And so it's just cool to have the conversations. I feel like there are a lot of people, at least that I'm around, who are like not really willing to do that and are really like trying to shut that down. And you can't ask questions and you can't disagree with things. People on the left canceling me for whatever. So I just want, it's a nice reminder that we can all talk about different topics and have different opinions. And maybe, we approach it in a respectful, like open way. And it's okay if we kind of put it out there and talk and maybe, I don't know, sometimes maybe we do change minds, or at least we see that we all care and we're human and like care about a lot of the same things. So it's been really beautiful. So I'm so happy to have you guys here tonight. And yeah, so it will definitely remain a very calm, chill conversation for sure. It's been that way. I'm really grateful for the guests that I've had, because it's been like that. So and Madeline, thank you also so much for joining for the first time. You're on the West Coast, yes?
Yeah, well, I'm raised in Kentucky, still living in Kentucky. I go back and forth because LA gets to be a lot, and so we try to get back to Kentucky as much as possible. But yes, I'm in LA for the most part.
I've still never been to the West Coast. I've never been to California. I don't know how
California
that's
is
possible.
hands down the most beautiful state. If you've ever been, you know you can get to a mountain in 10 minutes, a beach in 10 minutes. The weather is amazing. But unfortunately, the state is just completely falling apart, and it's been mismanaged, and it's really sad what's happened. So, you know, I've been working in politics since I was in high school. I was a part of even growing up, I grew up in politics. So then I went into the Tea Party with my family, doing things, and kind of was raised upon it. Was a young Republican throughout college. And then I have a PR and crisis management firm. I've had it for almost 15 years now. And we're based both here and in Cincinnati. And I have candidates and sitting congressmen and senators that are clients. And so kind of been in and out of politics and around here and there.
Amazing. What are some of the main things? I'm curious because I just moved back. I'm from Florida. I'm a native Floridian, and just moved back to the Orlando area. But I was living in New York City for the past 12 years. And a lot of, it sounds like what you're experiencing in California or seeing, I think is similar to things that were freaking me out and in New York City. I'm curious, like, what's been your experience recently?
Well, 2020 was like the end all be all for me. I was pregnant. I went into Cedars-Sinai, and they told me I had to get vaccinated in order to give birth at Cedars-Sinai. I was like, absolutely not. That's what kind of led me to going back to Kentucky and buying a place there, even though I have family there. But really, California is just falling apart, and all the money left. I feel like there's two types of people that stayed in California: the people who had ties like family, businesses, certain people like that, or the people that couldn't afford to leave, unfortunately. And the rest, it's become broken, and it's really the worst part of LA, and all of the cities are all combined. Orange County is great, but there's still a lot of corruption, and a lot of the Republicans that run in California, they wouldn't have a chance in a red state. So take that for what it is. I feel like socialism is on the rise. We're seeing it a lot. We're going to talk about certain things today that I think are setting us up as much as we're Republicans. We're setting the stage for making socialism and the push for that okay, in my opinion. And that's what scares me the most, because I saw it happening in California, and now we're moving it to the national base.
Yeah, and same, right, with Mom Donnie in New York City. So we've been having a lot of conversations about that, and Kevin is in that area. So Kevin is seeing it firsthand. We have been having a lot of conversations, and yeah, I'm very concerned for New York City as well, and the country in general. David has a question for Madeline. What is your firm called? If you want to share it, no pressure if you don't, but
we are TEL, so I don't disclose what my firm is ever really going into that on social media.
Got it. Nope, totally fair.
A lot of my clients, though, I do sometimes post them. I know Jay has had spaces, and I've had clients of mine on. So if that's been dropped, basically with certain things, all of my clients come referral based, because I was a young Republican and I've worked in other areas, obviously. It's just led referral. I do not do marketing. I have a team of 15 full-time people that help me run my firm in Cincinnati to California.
Awesome. We have a first-time watcher. Thank you so much. Just followed. We appreciate the support. Jay and Kevin, how are you guys doing? How was your Thanksgiving holidays?
Well, I'm good. So since Kevin gets to bring friends, I brought a couple friends with me. So appreciate you letting me have them on here tonight. It's one of my favorite podcasts to come on, better than my own. But yeah, I thank you for having me here. And Thanksgiving was great. My oldest son was in New York City, so that was kind of nerve-wracking for me. But good holiday, spent it with friends, and yeah, glad to be here.
Yeah, that's right. Is your son's back now from his trip?
Yeah, so it was really cold. So they didn't get to do much, but he did get to see like the Statue of Liberty and stuff, which he thought it was awesome. So
Yeah, I can. No, that's great. Well, I'm glad that he's safe. I'm glad everything went well. What were his overall thoughts about New York City, other than that it was cold?
well, I mean, he doesn't tell me much, but he was like, it was cool, it was all right, or whatever. And but I think it was really just cold or whatever. But the crazy part is I've never been to New York City. I've only flown by there, so he's got one up on me.
Yeah, no, I know that is kind of crazy. That's neat though. I am happy to not be in the cold weather right now, for sure. This is my first
Yeah.
winter back in Florida, and I'm definitely enjoying not being like miserable and freezing.
Yeah. Well, I grew up in Minnesota and Alaska, and Georgia is as cold as I want to be. So that's about as cold as I'm gonna go.
Yes, fair. Kevin, how was yours? How are you doing?
Everything's going good. Everything's going good. Just gearing up for the big 2026 race here in New York. Kind of see what Zorhan brings to the table when he is finally sworn in as mayor of the biggest city in America. No, it's it's been a wild ride. Big day in politics today. I was super excited about it. I know we're going to talk about it because I'm a geek. So the Trump accounts, I love every second of it. But no, it was things have been good. How was your Thanksgiving? And by the way, just for all you warm people out there, okay, everyone who's warm and experiencing warm weather, coming from Long Island, I want you to know I hate you. I just went out to my car for like 2 seconds, and now I'm dead. So
You don't look dead. I mean, you're used to it to a degree, right?
yeah, oh yeah, now you get used to it. It's a grit, it makes you. This is why we're all assholes, because we all have to fight for warmth in the winter.
I mean, that's fair. Like that was my experience last winter that everybody was just so angry, like myself included. It's just like you have no patience, you're freezing, I don't know. Yeah. So
it is. No one has patience in New York. We're all hopped up on caffeine and running a mile a minute. The whole New York minute thing is absolutely true. That's why I can't go to Florida, because like people drive in Florida like they got nowhere to be. They're just la-di-da, stopping at yellow lights. I can't do it. Let's go. We got to move. We got money to make. Let's dance. I can't do this.
It's definitely very different. I've lived in both places for a long time. It's obviously a very different pace. And after going to New York and coming back to Florida, you really feel it. But yeah, we'll get to our topics. Kevin, I know, it was a perfect transition because I was planning to start with Trump accounts because I know you're really excited about that one. And I'm really curious to hear what you have to say. It's pretty breaking news. Like I didn't even know what you were talking about when you mentioned it today. Well, I was like, wait, what?
Well, he broke it while I was on my show. So I was all geeked out because I got to watch the whole press conference. And I was really excited about it, mostly because Scott Bassett talked about the idea of financial literacy for young people. I'm a firm believer in the fact that most people are poor because they suck with money, not because they don't have any money. I think a lot of young people piss it all away. And look, don't get me wrong. There's no person you're going to meet who enjoyed their 20s more than me. But if I had went to the bar one night less a week, I could be sitting pretty right now if I understood the concept of financial literacy, if I understood what compound interest was, if I understood how the stock market worked. If you put a what's it called? Barbara Corcoran was talking about how if you put $100 away a month at the age of 18, by 65, you're a millionaire. And these are things that young people just don't understand. And I think that a lot of young people would be in far better places if we were able to teach a concept of financial literacy. And the Trump accounts are one step in that direction, particularly because it comes from private donors and tax-free savings accounts for parents who want to put money away for their children later on. I think this is a great idea, and I'm really happy they're doing it.
That's, you bring it like private donors, right? It's zero cost to anybody, like zero like impact on anybody. And wait till tomorrow. Wait for people to complain about that, right? There's gonna be complainers. They're gonna be like, oh, this is a bad idea, whatever. Like, how can it be a bad idea? It's
they already
impact.
are. They're only doing this so they can get a tax deduction,
right?
And I'm like, yo, who cares? Like, see, because so Margaret Thatcher has a famous line when she was exiting Parliament, and she talked about she got asked about the difference between the rich and the poor in the UK, and she very famously said that the minute you start talking about the differences between the richest 10% and the poorest 10%, is you would rather it be down here, so long as the rich are less rich. And look, Elon Musk having a couple $100 billion doesn't make me any less money. It's a guy like Warren Buffett who took a chance on Coca-Cola and now gets paid $2 million a week from Coca-Cola in dividends. He made good financial decisions. And look, there are a lot of factors out there that give people intergenerational wealth and the sort of money that an Elon or a Buffett or a Steve Cohen have. But I'm not talking about being those people. I'm talking about being financially secure in your retirement. We all know that Social Security is going to run out at some point. Most people our age, we all look relative. Well, I look like the oldest person on this stage for sure. But no one has confidence that they're going to be able to live off Social Security the way our grandparents did, the way our parents did, the way pensions worked in this country for quite some time. So I think that getting people involved younger and younger will be beneficial for everybody. And I'm really happy that the businessmen in the room were the ones talking about it and not the politicians. Guys like Bassett and Lutnick and Trump who know how to succeed in business. I think it's going to be a very exciting time. And if this pans out the way it looks, I think this could be the most consequential thing President Trump has done in the 10 years he's been in office, or the 10 years he's been in politics.
Yeah, I mean, this sounds really, really positive to me. I was surprised. I had never heard about this. I didn't know that it was in the works. And so one of my questions in learning about it was, and I haven't had time to like deep dive into it yet, is what are the criticisms? Because I'm assuming that the Democrats and like the left isn't wanting to say that this is a good thing. So I'm assuming that there's already
you know that they will complain.
Oh, they're just someone at the DNC is firing off an email right now. They're just typing away, all hopped up on Adderall. But no, that's what they're saying, that the rich are just going to use this as a tax break. This donation that they're making, the Dell family of Dell Computers donated $6 billion to get this fund off the ground. There's going to be more philanthropy involved in it, and the rich will get a tax deduction from this. And I'm okay with that because it's going to really get younger people involved in markets and understanding the concept of money at an earlier age.
I've hoped that Trump would do something to incentivize, to some extent, having kids, because, I mean, as someone without children who's married, who's kind of in the prime demographic of someone who should be having kids, personal things aside, there's a lot of reasons, that I'm wary to bring a kid into this country, this situation, this economy, whatever. And people, the common thing on the right at least is like, oh, have kids now, figure it out later. I don't think that that's the right way to do it personally. So I'm much more extreme in what I would call an incentive. I would go for, some sort of maternity leave that's like mandated federally, but that's another topic. I think it's great that he's doing something to kind of incentivize Americans having kids, because that's something Elon talks about a lot, is like population, drop. And I don't think that we really think about it. We don't really see it because it's so far down the line. But I know personally, I mean, I'm a 30-year-old woman. There's a lot of my friends who are having kids, and there's a lot of my friends who aren't having kids. So I think it's great that there's some sort of, recognition of that at least, and that like people need at this point some sort of incentive on having kids or not when they're trying to decide in this economy, in this state of the country. I mean, anything positive I think is good. So I'm excited to see it.
No, look, I honestly, you're absolutely right. I think we should.
I think it's a twofold situation. Personally, I think it's great for children. I think we do need financial literacy. I think the one thing I want to say is Dell has laid off over 25,000 people since 2024. And the fact of the matter is jobs. We can all talk about illegal immigrants. I'm on the news talking about it. I'm not afraid to say it. Taking jobs, but the fact is AI is going to take jobs. People want to say that AI is going to create jobs. It's not going to be like the internet. It's not going to be like the past. And I do think we're setting the stage for what the future is going to look like with a lot of these kids going into colleges, spending a lot of money, and they're coming out and they're still not able to get a job. And then we have AI. And really by the time these children are, make it to college and really to buy their first house, AI and robotics, all of that is going to be full effect. So as much as I think it's a positive, I think that Dell's laid off a lot of people in the last 2 years. The stats are out there. And I also think that financial literacy is something we need to be teaching in schools. I think taxes are a whole thing that we need to teach people on how to do. And I think also we're going to talk about, I know, insider trading and certain things later in the show, but I think one thing we can talk about is a lot of people don't know about the stock market, how to trade, Bitcoin and crypto and everything else, how that's going to play a part. I'm sure kids are going to be a lot smarter than us here real soon in crypto, because I'm not that smart in crypto. I just know when to invest in, like, the main things, and that's it. So, it should be interesting, but I do think it's a twofold situation.
Well, check on your closest Bitcoin friend. Make sure they're doing okay right now, because I know a lot of my boys have said it was going to be the future. They were on a yacht when they were last week, and now they're all on a lifeboat.
You don't lose any money if you don't sell. So,
well, yeah, but when you go from 123,000 to 86.
it's
overnight, that makes I don't care who you are, you're gonna shit a little when that happens.
Yeah, it follows patterns though. Like I won't go into. I don't want to give financial advice on here, but it follows patterns. It'll be back.
It's so funny. I have to start out, when we were talking about it before, I had to start out by saying this is not financial advice. However, if you were to take this money and put it into a Vanguard index, it would make 8% time over year over year, and you would get this much. That's not financial advice. That's just math. But most people have no idea how that stuff works. I was breaking it down on my show today, just as an example. If you opened up a Trump account for your kid and got the $1,000 initial payment and did nothing else, when that kid turned 18, he'd have $4,000. It would quite literally quadruple by doing nothing.
The thing that this makes me think of is Social Security. Like, if you had the money that you dump into Social Security, and you could invest it or whatever, it would be far greater than what you get when you retire or whatever, and you start drawing Social Security, like $1,500 a month or whatever. It's like nothing, and then you got what, 15 years left to live or whatever. Like it's absolutely nothing. If you were investing that in the entire time, you'd be a multimillionaire. So with any amount of financial literacy or whatever, so that's what it makes me think of, and it's smart, and they don't have to do this, and I don't care if they get a tax break if it benefits people. More power to them.
I mean, I was just saying before, like, so when I was 23, I got hit by a car, and I got a $35,000 settlement, and like most people in their early 20s, it was great. I was buying bottles and I was going to Cancun, and it was a whole good old time. But if I had just invested that in a basic index fund, I'd have over $110,000 now by doing nothing, just leaving it in the fund. And if I was 23, I'll be honest, I still would have went to Cancun, but like maybe I would have put a little bit of it in the market and just relaxed and not, if I had known, but most people don't figure out finance until they're in their 30s, until they look for it on their own.
Something I'm thinking and hoping, and obviously I don't know if these details are out yet, but I hope that there's some sort of like safety guard, meaning that, parents can't go in there and take it out. I don't know how that works, but I know that, that can be a scary situation. And if that, it can be something that's so great set up from the get-go, but there's also a lot of people who, would probably touch that if given the opportunity.
I think it's tied to your social. I think the way they're going to do it is they're going to tie it to your social security number.
Okay.
So if you sign up for it for your child, it is you can't. I mean, maybe you'll be able to pull it out, but it'll be taxed at like a crazy rate, like a 401k. Like, if any of you have 401ks right now, you know that if you pull it out, you're going to get slammed with taxes. But if you wait till you're 65, you don't get hit as much. I think it's going to be something like that. Or the way they're going to set it up, at least. It's in the big beautiful bill, so it already passed. But it's I think it's a good first step in this sort of thing. Not to replace Social Security, but to supplement it.
So for people who don't know, this is some background about the Trump accounts for anyone who doesn't know what's going on with that. And I'm sure you've looked it up by now. But so basically, children born between 2025 and 2028 or U.S. citizens are eligible for $1,000 government contribution, up to $5,000 per total year per child, may be contributed from all sources, and potentially starting July 4th, 2026. And I have a quick video as well. No, I don't. Hi, Madeline. Welcome back. Sorry, there was
Sorry. I'm in
Oh,
Cincinnati
wow.
actually, and we had the worst snowstorm we've had ever. And so I think our Wi-Fi just like switched over because it's been going in and out. I don't know. I know you're in New York, Kevin, but we had a horrible snowstorm in Cincinnati, Kentucky area. So I think that's what happened.
Oh no.
I mean, just to put this into context, right? If you did the max, right? If you did the max, you start off with $1,000 initial investment at 8% for 18 years. If you put in the $5,000 every year, when your kid turns 18 years old, he would finish, and that's just at 8% in the standard S&P like average over the last 10 years. At the age of 18, your kid would have $191,247. And your contributions would all be tax-free. And I think that is incredible, both for everyone in the market and for the kids coming out. Your total investment at that point would be $100,000. I'm sorry, would be $91,000. And your total balance, you would literally more than double your money doing that at 8%. And that sounds like a lot of numbers and a lot of geeky shit, but could you imagine what you would have done at 18 years old if you were able to pull out $200,000? That's a down payment on a house, no matter where. I live in the most expensive place in America, and that's a down payment on a house, a substantial down payment. So I think that would really get people in houses faster, get them married more, maybe incentivize having children faster, because it's kind of hard to make kids when your parents are downstairs. So I think that I think this could be a great thing.
Well, Hannah brought up a great point too that we've been talking about also in a recent stream, just about people not wanting to have kids and just the affordability issue and the economy and that being a big factor. So, and also, I mean, all of this is kind of going hand in hand with the economy, and like Kevin, also we've been talking about like people not being able to buy houses, to like, and that just being like all around, like whether it's having kids, being able to, afford things. Obviously, it's nice to think that there could be a positive there.
No, for sure. And you know what? I think that if your 18-year-old found out that you put, I was doing the math. So if you put $5,000 in at the top of the investment, started with $6,000, over 18 years, you'd have $24,000 to start out. I think that would get kids a little bit, when they found out, holy shit, this is how much I put in $6,000 and I pulled out, what is that, 18,000 extra. I think a lot of people would be a lot more curious how they got to there and how they could grow, that sort of thing. And then you start to learn how rich people actually operate when it comes to assets and investments. Like Elon Musk doesn't spend his own money. He borrows against his Tesla stock to buy. So when Elon Musk bought Twitter, he didn't spend any of his own money. He didn't spend a dime of it. He borrowed money from banks against his Twitter stock and then bought, against his Tesla stock and then bought Twitter. Literally not spending a dime of his own money to buy a social media app. And, I mean, arguably one of the biggest in the world, if you can get people to see your posts now, which are damn near impossible. Whoever changed that algorithm, I hope you do something differently. But, you know, I think that would get people a hell of a lot more involved and a lot understanding the difference between assets and liabilities and what things cost you. And I think it would put people in a far better place.
I would hope some education would come with that too. I'm thinking back to school and all of the useless math that I learned. And then my most favorite class I took, I think it must have been at junior college or community college. It was just a personal finance class. And it talked about all that compounding interest and credit cards and taxes and like all of that. And I was like, why the hell is this not like general education that we're teaching starting in like elementary school? It was wild to me that I had to go to higher education to learn these very, very basic things that I feel like should be taught pretty early on. So maybe this will help.
I've long
and
said
that brings up a great point, but I just want to throw this out there too. Right now, everybody feels like a lot of the American people, the constituents, the voter, they are feeling really pinched when they go to the grocery and everything else. With the lack of education there is right now for that, things like this, where all of us sit here and we all debate all these ideas that the administration can put out, I think it's a great idea. And I think it's obviously what's best for the future. However, when the voter hears it, they feel defeated because once again, they already feel like they don't have any money to put away. They don't understand how to do it. So they just feel like it's above their head and they feel like this isn't their class already. And so unfortunately, because there's that lack of education, it's going to hurt us in the midterm. We still need to put out the education and all continue to push out the basic content because the basic voter does not understand the principles of this. And they're just feeling already burnt and they don't feel like there's even a dime to put into crypto or into the stocks or into any type of Vanguard account.
No, you're absolutely right. And I think that's why the sort of tax, I mean, most people don't know about health savings accounts or college accounts that you can set up for your kids, you know, that are tax deductible. So you're not paying on the back end, you're paying on the front end. Most people have no idea about that kind of stuff. And I think there is a sort of, I think it's sort of done on purpose. You know, there's the famous line in The Big Short that Wall Street uses fancy terms so you think only they can do what they do. And it's like, no, it turns out like in the information era that we're in right now, podcasts and books, I mean, I have a whole stack over there, my library of financial books that like dumb things down for regular people, like the basic stuff, like Rich Dad Poor Dad. Every person should read Rich Dad Poor Dad. Like that's like the first financial book everyone should read. I don't know Robert Kiyosaki. I don't make any money on that. It's an easy read. It's like 98 pages. Like it just teaches you how to think about things differently. And you know, it really separates the poor mindset from the rich person mindset. And there's so many other ones. Random Walk Down Wall Street, The Intelligent Investor, 38 Letters to a Son by Rockefeller. There's actually, I think I got that one right here. But it's there's just so many that I think would give people a different perspective on credit cards. Like I've long said this is not the most conservative principle in the world, but I think they need to cap credit card interest rates. I think some of these buy now, pay later places that are charging people 600% annually on a taco, that is usury. It is a sin. I think it is the worst sin of all, where you're just out there. Visa's charging people 28%. People essentially become slaves to American Express so that they can sponsor the Sugar Bowl. I think if you get so badly into credit card debt, you are not free. You are a slave. You're an indentured servant to MasterCard for the rest of your life.
Well, HSA accounts too. I just want to make this point. I feel like insurance has continued to rise. We've seen a lot of people. Insurance doesn't cover a lot. Or if you do have great insurance, you can't get a doctor appointment with your regular physician. You're going to the clinic down the road. The HSA accounts, I mean, I've even used them for Botox. I'm guilty of it. I'll say it all day long. But HSA accounts, at the end of the day, they came about because a lot of people were not able to get good health insurance and it wasn't covering it when they were going to get surgeries and going to different doctor's appointments. So at the same time, we keep creating these ideas instead of fixing some of these bigger issues or issues that are going to come. So I think, again, it's a great idea. I'm always supporting our administration. Don't want to come off like the Debbie Downer over here on it. I just also want to say there's some fundamental issues that the regular voter, and I'm concerned for midterms and what the average American after Thanksgiving and going into the holidays, they're feeling it right now. And I'm seeing it across the US and I'm hearing about it from different people everywhere. And so that's the only thing I can give the administration is they're great at putting out these big ideas and statements, but there's a lot of context and there's a lot of nuance there. And I guess it's also up to a lot of us creators and people on X to put it out there on TikTok and really everywhere and educate people, because the education is not there for the average voter.
No, you're absolutely right. And it's going to come down to affordability in this election. And Trump said it today that it was a Democrat con job, but I'm just sitting there going, oh, shut up, please. Like, no, it's not, bro. It's not. No 25-year-old has $300,000 to put a down payment on a house because private equity bought up all the, 2-bedroom, 1-bath starter homes in America. Like, affordability is real. It is. Somebody was saying they were working it out. To live in New York City, like comfortably, you need to make $250,000 a year. To not live in a tenement, down in the Village, which is, partitioned off and have 3 roommates who don't speak English. Like, you need to have a very good job to live in major American metros or a down payment on a house. And look, I'm a New Yorker. Not there's anything wrong with like Arkansas or the middle of the country. I don't want to live there. I would quite literally die if I lived in Nebraska. Like, I can't do that. Not everyone can just up and leave and move to Nashville. So I think that as much as I wish I could, because Nashville's
awesome. What are you talking about?
Nashville's awesome.
It is, yeah, for sure, 100%. But it's just even in South Georgia, which is pretty affordable place. You need about that to be very comfortable, and so like even rents down here are through the roof, and doubled in the past 5 years. So. Like it's not just New York City, it's everywhere. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, so many great points. I really appreciate it. And again, I feel like there's a lot of common themes that have been coming up about affordability and what's really mattering to people right now. And I think that's a great point, Maddie, that you mentioned, which kind of goes hand in hand with the next topic about the US Venezuela happenings and what's going on. And do we think that that's worth, how are we feeling about that in terms of like, is that America first? Is that what we should be focusing on and doing right now? And is it important right now? And what do we think is really going on? Is it really about drugs and security? Is it an oil thing? Is it a regime change kind of thing? How are you guys feeling about what's going on with Venezuela?
Not great.
I mean, these are the same questions that we all asked ourselves when we were going into the different war on terror. We kept asking ourselves, why are we still there? Why are we going there? And now war has gotten it's so different. I mean, Jay Hans would be a way better person to talk on that, but I feel like it's going to look completely different. But what we're doing is not America first. However, do feel like if we're killing if we're killing drug cartels or any dealers, great, let them go. I'm all for it. But at the same time, we have a lot of work to do on our own country. And our own country, and in fact, our own party is at war with each other right now.
Yeah, I think I'm too much of a libertarian to care all that much about anything that happens overseas in general. And people kind of, I don't know, people have like DM'd me to debate about Israel or what Iran or whatever. And I don't know. There's so many other things I think that I care about.
She said the I word. She said the I word. Kevin has left the chat.
But being close to Portland, I also do see the effect that the drugs have had on people, and it's so sad. Like, it's people, like, I don't know, the discourse about Portland is so weird online, and it's either extremely accurate as far as like the truth that's being shown, and that's what people, all these politicians and leaders in Portland who are posting from bridges and posting from their homes up on the hills saying, oh, there's nothing wrong with Portland, it's beautiful. That's not true. Portland is completely destroyed, and it's large in part to do with the fact that they can do any drugs that they want, and they're given supplies and clean needles, and there's no rehabilitation programs, there's no mental health services. It's like a free-for-all, and it's terrifying. It's like zombie land.
It's such a shame because the Pacific Northwest is so beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
If you go to like Seattle and you see, I always forget which mountain it is, but when you're overlooking over the water, you see Mount Rainier. It's like, that is gorgeous. And then you turn around and there's a guy with a needle in his foot. You're like, how on opposite sides of the street?
It's a stark contrast, though. Like, most of Washington is very conservative. Seattle, Tacoma area is very, like, it's its own world, and it's not, like, when you walk around there, like, I used to live there, and when you walk around like Seattle or whatever, like, I had toddlers when I lived there, and you walk around or whatever, you see people everywhere smoking weed just because they can or whatever. It's like really, it's really gross. You try and go take your kids to see something, and people are out on the street smoking a blunt or whatever. Like, it's just not it's not a good place to be. But then when where I lived down in Lacey or whatever, I was right on Puget Sound. It's very beautiful, and everybody's very cool, and I love the state overall. And but it's just like Seattle's just another place, and
There was
Tacoma is really it's really gross. Like, it's so much crime there, so much, like, and they're just not even trying to solve anything. It's just
that's how
worse.
Oregon.
Like,
that's how Oregon is too. Like, along I-5, it's like Eugene, Salem, Portland are all kind of like what bring the state blue, but the rest of Oregon is beautiful. It's conservative. The community I live in, Trump flags everywhere. We have a militia in our little town. So it's like, those are very much the values I'm around every day, but I stay out of Portland. I have to. It's completely ruined at this point. I remember I posted about it on X, but I remember going into Portland when I was in high school, and it was like the fun, cool thing to do. We'd go there before, prom or before homecoming to go have dinner at a nice restaurant and like walk around and go shopping, or go on the weekends, go to Saturday market, whatever. And it's like that Portland it's gone. I went there maybe a year ago to go to a concert, and it was terrifying. Like, walking the 2 blocks from the car to the venue is just, it's like zombie land. So yeah, I mean, as far as the drugs, I've seen it firsthand. It's terrible. So if this is helping stop some of that, I suppose it's fine. But it's again, I'm just a little bit too libertarian. I think that we have a lot of issues to focus on at home. Let's get some mental health services and rehabilitation services to Portland before we blow up any more boats.
I think if you ask the right person, they're going to say, yeah, just blow up the boats. It's all about the drugs. Like, certain representatives I've talked to about it. And then there's others who are going to say, that's just playing into the emotional side for the voter to think, yeah, you know, this is all about the drugs. It's not. And we all, again, for the average person, they're thinking this is great. And they all know Trump's stance on alcohol and drugs. So they think that that's why Trump is, you know, all for getting Venezuela and taking out these boats. That is not the end all be all, obviously.
Right.
And again, it goes back to, I don't like that we keep allowing our own party to do it because we always call the Democrats out for it. So I keep telling like candidates who are running and those who are sitting in the House and sitting Senate, the American people aren't stupid. And the more information that is at our fingertips, the smarter they are getting. And for us to all keep pretending this is just about drugs it's not going to go over well because we know it's not the end all be all for it.
Are you saying it might have to do with oil?
I mean, you know,
Are you saying that perhaps though Dick Cheney is dead, Halliburton may be going, maybe I'll take over another country?
Yeah,
I think
being
that-
a child of the war on terror, I think I'm just a little bit jaded about any war in general.
But here's the thing, we didn't even get, everyone was like, oh, they fought for oil. We didn't even get it. Like, we didn't even take, we left it. I think if we're going to start a war, we should get something for it.
I don't even think it's just about Venezuela. I think Russia and China have to do with it, a lot to do with it.
I mean, drugs are gonna still be coming in. Like, it's not like everything. If they nuke the votes and they nuke Venezuela, everything is just like gonna go back to paradise. Like, it doesn't work like that. Drugs come from like Mexico. Drugs come from like different countries around the world.
Drugs come from our own government. They hand them out.
Also, like it's like the taxpayer money is what's going to be wasted, and we're talking about affordability. You guys were speaking a lot on it, and it's more like, are we wasting more money? Is this going to be like better for the American taxpayer, or is it going to like raise the tax bracket? And I think that that's the main problem right now. I don't think we should get involved in other, like, it's very sad that Venezuela goes through socialism, right? But it's not a problem. We should not fix it. And in the future, people usually just go like, oh, but like Americans are like, you know, imperialists because they are like going. So at the end of the day, should we help or not? I don't think so. We should focus on our own problems right now.
Well, that seems to also be, you know, a similar feeling to a lot of the criticism that people have related to that. And yeah, I think a good point, and David is agreeing in the chat with a lot of this. Other countries, you know, I think, you know, there's some other speculation about what it's about. So in terms of oil, is it like there's a lot of, I think right now, skepticism with like trusting people, what people are saying to us, right? And as Maddie was saying, like Americans are getting smarter and we are like calling things out more, which I'm really happy about, right? That we're not just like blindly following things. And I mean, some people still are, but I think the more that we can call it out and speak up about it and ask the questions, it's super important. And it feels like more and more people, I don't know, at least in people that I'm talking to, are doing that and kind of asking the question of like, what is really going on here? And
I usually wait to see what Lindsey Graham thinks and then feel the opposite.
We all have our own measures, right?
I'm like, oh, Lindsey Graham wants to do X. So if I saw him in a restaurant and he was like, Kev, the chicken here is great, I'm getting the steak. Like I everything he wants, I want the opposite of, including partners. But they, you got to throw that in there. But I just the neocons, the sort of the warmongers on both sides of the aisle, I think really are the bane of the populist movements on both sides as well. And I think that they're starting to see the real death of the world that they created in that post 9/11 New World Order. We're going to put democracy everywhere. We're going to get our hands in, and the populists are still sort of losing that battle at the moment. But I think we're making serious strides in the way of what Hannah was saying, is that, we got problems here, bro. Like we got a lot of problems. There's 7 square blocks in Philadelphia called Kensington that is not third world. It is post-apocalyptic. Like there's no street lights there because the city suggests you don't stop your car. So let's worry about that before we worry about nuclear facilities in Iran or anything in Yemen, or whether or not the soup Nazi down in Venezuela is doing whatever the hell he's doing. He looks just like the soup Nazi, by the way. Like I can't even. I just every time I see him, that's all I think of.
Yeah,
To
there's
me,
zero.
go ahead.
Well, there's zero return on investment for fixing Kensington, right? They're not gonna get any kickbacks. They're not gonna get any defense contract money or anything like that for doing that. So that's why they don't care. This is one of the things that I brought up with Mark Lucas. I had him a couple weeks ago or whatever on a live, and veterans benefits, right? Protecting veterans benefits. It's not lucrative for them. They'll run their campaign on them because it's kind of a heartstring issue because a lot of people are concerned about it. But the thing is once they get into office, nobody's going to pay them to protect veterans benefits. They're not going to do it. They're not going to get any kickbacks. They're not going to get any campaign contributions. It's not lucrative for them, and that's why they don't do it, right? That's why they focus on these other things. That's why they focus on war, more bombs, all these different types of things, because that's what's going to get them reelected. That's what's going to keep them in office. And so that's why we see that system. And so it's funny because you watch these candidates come up or whatever, brand new, whatever, and they're talking about all these good things. They have these really great ideas and they sound great to the voter, right? They're like, oh, okay, this person's going to look out for me or whatever. And it's just like, well, how long before they start insider trading? How long before they get in there and they start really making money and they completely dismiss all that stuff? Because that's reality. That's, for most of them, like that's exactly what's going to happen. And it's sorry to say it, but there, you can probably count on your hand, the amount of good ones out there, because there's not very many. And so, I don't mean to blackpill anybody, but like, I don't have a bright outlook for a lot of them. And, that's why we end up in these situations.
Well, we're going to see how things are panning out very soon because polls just closed in Tennessee. So, let's see how that goes.
And with Thomas Massie, I mean, with both with the libertarians, Hannah and Gabby here, I love Thomas Massie. I'm a Kentucky girl through and through. And he's gone to DC years ago. He wears his ticker with our debt clock right there ticking every day. And as much as Trump and him do not align and they've been going at it and they're trying to primary him, I think we should all just remember that he went into DC with the same principles that he still stands by today. And we need more people like Massie to remind other Republicans that we can't just spend all of our money in different places. We need people our party cannot become an echo chamber, but we have to be smart. The Democrats, they always vote together. And in one way, it's been great for them because they've been able to pass all these things. Nancy Pelosi did a great job. I'm not a huge fan of our speaker right now. However, I look at it like their party is broken too, because they all just continue to co-sign each other's bullshit. I'm actually happy that we have people like Thomas Massie who stand for the Republican Party, and it's sad to see people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's finally coming out of her shell and, speaking a little bit far out of the blue, her mind. But it's sad to see people with a different opinion leave, because we do need people that remind some of the ones that go far down the rabbit hole that there are people who don't understand anything of what they're doing.
Well,
the more members of Congress you meet, the more you will realize that the majority of them are fucking idiots. Like they either married well, or they come from money, or they're like, the coolest guy in the smallest town in America. Like, that's how they got there. Some GOP picked them. It's like when you were a kid and you thought your parents were the smartest people in the world, and then you became an adult and you're like when I found out some of my friends became like high school teachers, I was like, how are you? I know you. Like, you're not a teacher. And it turns out like people aren't as impressive as you think they are.
It's actually crazy too, because the people who I used to find least impressed, who least impressed me, like John Fetterman, has been making sense lately. And I'm like, wait, what is going on? What is happening in the world? When I'm like, why is John Fetterman making more sense than 90% of the Republican Party and, of course, his own party?
I want to have a beer with him
Been
so
mind-blowing.
bad. I want to have a beer with him so bad. He's probably so much fun. He's just like a big, goofy, like he could definitely like slam. I could just imagine him like on his porch, slamming Bush Lights. No problem watching football all day long. I want to hang out with him so bad. But the wife's got to stay away. She's the problem.
I think the problem is really just a lack of like Kevin was saying, populist politicians, whatever it may be. Both sides have tendencies to be globalists, and I think all of these Republicans who are, the Lindsey Grahams of the world and the Mitch McConnells of the world, who really are just focused on what brown people we can bomb next, like they're globalists too. It's just a different font. Like it's I think it's become, we've been so focused on this left versus right that we have forgotten that it's populist versus globalism. It's America first, or are we going to worry about the rest of the world and police the rest of the world? Like the people in Congress who I find myself agreeing with are the people who are talking about issues here at home. It's not the people who are talking about what's going on overseas, because that's just not it. That's globalist to me, no matter what side of the aisle you're on. And that's yucky. I think populism obviously is the way to go, and there can be populists on the left and the right, just like there can be globalists on the right, and we see them, and we got their number.
Just to be clear, like they put the discharge petition in today to force members of Congress to stop trading stocks. Mm-hmm. The two people who co-signed that legislation the first time it came out was Matt Gaetz and AOC. And I remember when I saw it, I just went, "Oh, Matt, I gotta stop talking shit about her now." Like, damn, bro, you're killing me. But there is, I said it about Anna Kasparian on the Young Turks. I was like, I find myself agreeing with, like, not agreeing with that, but I'll have the fight on abortion and guns and taxes and healthcare. I'll have that fight all day. But if we can agree on 2 out of 10 things, good. Then let's handle those 2. Make things a little bit better, and then we can go back to the traditional fights of old. But it's sort of the left-right mentality that really, that's why people yell at Angela, because she hangs out with terrorists and extremists like me.
I mean, I've been saying, like, I am also a big fan of John Fetterman, and that's been very much like kind of the same page that I've been on, right? And I've been getting a lot of pushback and being canceled by people on the left because it's like, you're not the bold lib, like, but no, I think it is bold. Instead of like subscribing to the echo chamber and like all the bullet points, I think it's so important to be able to ask questions. And it's really sad to me that people are, it's very just isolating, and we're not focusing on like the common ground and actually getting to a better place by having and focusing on what we do agree about, or trying to at least get to a better place. It's like people are mad at me for, going to an event, like going to Moms for Liberty, for taking a picture with, someone that's conservative. It's like, you don't even know what we're talking about. You don't know if you don't even know. So I just find it's not helpful. And just being angry and like yelling at the TV and without even like having all of the pieces to the puzzle and asking more questions, I just think is really a really ugly thing that's happening right now. And I have a lot of even close friends and stuff questioning me without, really understanding where I'm trying to come from.
Lots of people just lack the ability to think critically, I think, which is unfortunate but true, because we ask questions and we question things because we're thinking through things logically, and wherever that puts you on the political spectrum. I think inquiring about things and asking more questions proves that you have, I think a depth of thinking that a lot of people are not capable of, which is why so many people just turn on Fox News or turn on CNN and just want to hear what they're supposed to believe, or, you know, that Trump is bad or whatever it is, the narrative of the week. People really aren't interested in diving deep into it and having these conversations. And it's easy for people to criticize, you know, you or criticize us for reaching across the aisle, but it's like, we're the ones that are having these conversations. We are the ones who are like facilitating this open dialogue and not just allowing like this left right bullshit to get in the way of that. Like, that's not what's important to me. It's important to me that people can think critically and like think outside the box. I think that's a far better feature for someone to have than just believing whatever you see on TV and going with that.
Exactly.
Two solutions to this for sure. Number one being term limits in the House. We have people, incumbents, it's really hard for good candidates to get out there and run against incumbents because obviously they already have the donor list, they already have the base. Typically, they already have all of the big endorsements that they need. So it really pushes good candidates away from wanting to run against an incumbent. That's one of our biggest issues we have. And then if you have term limits, I don't care if they want to go run in the Senate or if they want to go be appointed somewhere else. I'm not saying they have to leave DC, but I think there should be term limits in the House. I think it would help us tremendously with cutting all, because then you have to talk. The longer these people all hang out and are there, the farther deeper they get. The second would be looking at PACs like AIPAC, looking at some of these groups and asking ourselves, why are we making deals with AIPAC? Why are we letting one PAC? And I'm not trying to sound like Marjorie Taylor Greene or Thomas Massey or any of these other people, but the facts are the facts. Let's take away some of these PACs and let the candidates actually have to turn to the business owners, to the voters again, to get their donations. Because one of the biggest problems I'm seeing with incumbents also is that they get the money through the big PACs. And when they have all of that money pouring in from the PACs and these larger donors, at the end of the day, they don't have to turn to the Farmers Bureau and the local farmer to find out, what do I have to do to get your vote, to get your support? They don't have to do it anymore because once they're in the House, their AIPAC representative comes walking down, these other big PACs come walking down, and this isn't an AIPAC or like, I'm not even going to go down that road, but
Kevin has left the chat.
Yeah, but it is a common, it is, and here's the thing, I've looked, a lot of people don't understand that you can go to the FEC website and you can compare. There is no other PAC that donates heavily to both parties. AIPAC is the number one, and that's why I always use it as an example. Mm-hmm. But end of the day, let's take PACs out or AIPAC out of one race or of one, I guess you would say, election, and let's see what happens. How many people have to turn again to the American voters and to the business owners and to the smaller groups to actually get their money?
And even if it's not that, even if it's not about getting the PACs out, just like the speed in which the world moves now, you know, it's not like riding horseback and riding with feathers. You know, the speed in which the internet, you guys remember those original Facebook hearings? And you heard like, so what Facebook? What is that? Well, what is like a book of faces? And I'm sorry, I like him. He's funny as hell. But I don't know how comfortable I am with 91-year-old Chuck Grassley regulating AI. I mean, he's a million years old. I think somebody said that he was born like closer to the Civil War than now, which is like so fucked up. Like, that is so weird. And he's like, just look at the Senate. It's not a debate society. It's a retirement community. And it's,
I was just going to say, all of them are fucking, all that whole generation. Once they're gone, I think we'll be okay. Like, it's all that fucking, those old ass people who are taking their walkers into Congress to vote or to vote the day before they died, Dianne Feinstein.
That was first off, I hope that when I'm old enough, someone loves me enough to not allow me to die in the Senate the way that, she looked like the damn crypt keeper. And I was saying at the time, like, look, Gavin Newsom's going to appoint a Democrat to her seat. it's not like as a Republican, I want her out so that we can have some kind of a special election. Like, let the woman die in peace. You got McConnell over there who has no idea what the hell is going on. Let's just look at this. Over the age of 80. Here we go. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 members currently over the age of 80. 70. I mean, oh shit. You have to go like very far down the list to get people in their 60s.
I want them a prerequisite to Congress is you need to convert a document to a fucking PDF. And then if you can't do that, I'm sorry. You got to sit this one out.
You need to be able to print something from your phone.
Yeah. Why the hell don't they want, like, it's just the whole vibe and the whole, like, it's so sinister to me because, like, what the hell are you doing? Why don't you want to go take your millions of dollars that you've, amassed over this career that is not supposed to be a millionaire maker? But why don't you go take all of your insider trading funds and all of the fucking money that you've acquired and retire? Like, why they're like so desperately clinging to power in their fucking old age that you have to like pry it out of their skeleton hands. I just don't get it.
House of Cards.
Well, I think that's more
Cards.
about
They
like they need to
leave,
satisfy
they
their
all fall.
donors.
Because it's about power. At that point, it's not about money. It's about, and think about a guy like Chuck Schumer, okay? No one has said no to him in half a century. He's never heard the word no. So, like, what's he supposed to do? Like, not be a senator anymore and then have to wait in line at the deli in Brooklyn? Like, he can't do that. Like, no, it is all about power.
Join a country club and fucking go golf and retire. That's my take.
Let me throw this out there too. The longer that people sit in Congress and that sit in the Senate, the longer they can move. This is a great example. Christine Bish is in California. She's running for the 6th district. And we've been all out there about the Adam Schiff files, right? Adam Schiff moved. We have his voter registration. It is black and white, right? He does not live in California. You guys, I drove past the Burbank sublet. It's like a commercial sublet that when you send your like employees to go work somewhere for a couple months, that is what he put on his voter registration with his wife. So he's a dumbass because you don't actually have to register to be in Congress or in Senate. You don't have to fill out voter registration. He did. And then number 2, the longer you're in, they can move. The guy never comes back to California. He doesn't know what the hell's going on there. The only time he goes back is when there's a donor event or he has to do some public speaking like every blue moon. So yes, the longer they're gone and in DC, their families follow them. And then they have kids and they have grandchildren that all live in that area. And at the end of the day, they don't come back. So they just have constituents that are calling their phone and trying to get a hold of a staffer, which may or may not come from that area. Most of the time they don't. So
plus, she has the best campaign slogan ever.
Yeah, she does.
Send this bish to Congress. I met her at CPAC like 4 years ago, and when she said it, I was like, "Yo, I will get on a 6-hour flight just for that, just to come help you campaign. Send this bish to Congress." I love it.
I want the Bish Please shirt. I want the Madeline owes me a Bish Please
how
shirt.
about I make a deal? I'll get everyone for Christmas. Me and Christine will contribute. I'm going to send everybody a Bish Please t-shirt. And everybody, but the only deal is if I send one, I expect some type of post to go support Christine because actually what's happening to her is really fucked up. I was there. There was a lot of media there due to she was commanded to Maryland, but yeah, what's happening in DC and what's happening with our, the members of the House is really sad. And it's hurting our country and it's hurting our voters. And it's going to come back to hurt the Republican Party. And we're going to see it come midterms.
You send me one of those shirts. I will have her on while wearing it. I will promote Eddie. Because first off,
let me write this down.
I just want. I will DM you after the show.
Reminder.
I will DM you the address after the show because there are some fucking crazy people out here. But I will. First off, I just want to walk into my local 7-Eleven with a shirt on that says "Bish, please." Like, it's gonna be what a conversation starter at the bar.
It's very smart. No,
It's
I
gonna
love
be
it.
great.
That's
Man.
great.
I'll have her on either way, just because that's awesome. But
You know what's interesting though
someone
about
in the chat, someone in the chat wants. That's where you got to fundraise on merch. Somebody in the chat wants a hoodie.
Great. Tell them to go DM me and we will get the hoodies out. I'm happy. We are pushing for that. We're going to have a campaign event launch come the 1st of January, month of the year. There's been a lot going on with the Adam Schiff stuff too. And we just are working on something else that's really exciting for everybody, which I cannot talk about, but that's next. And so, yeah, I have a lot of fun clients, but Christine's I will say she's one of my favorite people. And people like her in Sacramento, they are great. If you look at them, they're moderate. And they're a great example of what we need in the house because they can see both sides. She comes from a really corrupt place, right? But she's in Sacramento. She's not in LA. She's kind of outside of those things. And so she also sees things as like an everyday person where these people that are already in the house, they've been there for years and they're kind of out of touch with reality.
Yeah, we've actually been talking about that a lot in relation to AI, like the problem that like they do not understand the threat and like how that all is, so that's like, I think very scary to a lot of us because we're all really scared about being replaced by AI, particularly related to employment and just like all of the potential seemingly quick repercussions of all of that, and having, leadership who doesn't even understand how any of that works is very scary.
And you know what? There's always going to be technological advances, but they've never come this quickly. I feel like, where there's going to be, I'm 36, and they told everyone in my generation that if you went to a 4-year school, you would succeed in life, and they never told you like it mattered what you majored in. Like I remember as like the typical jock who never went to class, they were like, "Oh, if you go to school for sports management, you can be the GM of the Mets." And now as an adult, I found out that the GM of the Mets has an MBA from Dartmouth. He doesn't have a 4-year degree from Cortland State University in sports management. With that degree, I could be the manager of a Dick's Sporting Goods, which I could have done without the $150,000 debt in keg stands. Like, and look, I want to be clear. As a guy who double majored in poli-sci and journalism, that the frame I got from Michael's is worth more than the degree. Like that is what is putting this my generation, the sort of late millennials, in such a bad spot because they went to school and they got degrees that are useless. They still don't know how to set what's a VCR?
Yes.
They can tell you what a VCR is. See, that's
what's a
what they're
VCR? I don't know.
Well, I always say it's a great example too. Like if you were to take a history major from every generation, all the textbooks have changed. History's been rewritten so many times, right? So the code is going to continue to be rewritten differently. And we right now could go study AI, marketing, PR. Like we've all talked about how it's affecting our industry on certain parts of it. Even if we learn it today, it's going to completely change. It could change tomorrow and then we're screwed again. And so it's like, you're going to spend a lot of people and companies are also going to be spending a lot of money testing out different ways where it shouldn't be that. We should know if you're spending money on marketing, what works. Obviously, A/B testing is a thing, but we're seeing ads not work all of a sudden the right way. We're seeing SEO all of a sudden broke. It's consistently changing, and AI is going to be, we're going to live in dangerous times. I also think it's extremely manipulative. If you hear about the stories from people who work in AI, it loves to turn on people, and that scares the hell out of me.
yeah.
Like we have enough enemies. Why I don't want a computer as an enemy. I
There
know
was
I can't beat it.
There was a video the other day that somebody showed a robot how to do Taekwondo. And I was like, oh, you know what else we should do? Not that. Maybe we should not teach it how to fight. I don't know. Like, it's like the Romans who taught their slaves how to kill them. Like, don't do that, bro. It's like none of the people making robots now have seen any movie before 1988 where like, oh, we got this technology and it's going to be great. And then it comes and kills you. Like,
I think it just takes away freedom. I think technology, I mean, look at, you go to the airport, they want to take a photo, right? everywhere, real ID, all of it. I mean, AI, I think, is going to end up being a question of freedom because they're going to know everything. They can pull the AI. If you go ChatGPT or Grok, like somebody's like a dossier on somebody, it will pull everything, anything you can find on somebody. I think it's going to get really ugly. And now with the talk of ChatGPT running ads, we know how skewed it's going to get. That means everything you're seeing and all your information where you go to write is going to be somebody paid to see it.
That's actually something I've thought about a lot. In my day job, I'm a paralegal, and a big part of my job is reviewing contracts in terms of service and things. So when the company signs up for any sort of online service, Google Drive, what have you, I have to read all of those terms. And, you know, it sounds like so daunting and stuff, but it's actually crazy. Like some of the things that they can hide in there. And for my own personal use, I write a lot, and I started looking into the terms for like Google Drive versus iCloud versus Microsoft OneDrive for like which platforms will feed your work into AI to train AI models. And like I ended up going with OneDrive because they don't do that, but Google, anything you save in Google Drive, that can be fed to AI to train it. So just know that. And like if you're signing up, I always encourage people, like, I know it sounds crazy, take a PDF print of the terms of service if you want and just give it to ChatGPT and say like, hey, what should I be aware of? Just know what you're signing up for, and know like your data is so important these days. Like, and there's so many things like from the legal, you know, side where the law is catching up, but I'm having to insert AI clauses into contracts that I'm working on saying like, you can't take our company information and use it to train models. Like we have to just be really diligent about where we're giving our data and like the kinds of services we're signing up for. And it seems tedious because it's like, oh, we click those 100 times a day, you know, I accept the terms and conditions, but it's actually like you're signing a contract, and it's very, very, very much a big deal. And people, I think, have become so desensitized to like, I accept the terms and conditions, that they know that people aren't going to be clicking through and reading them. Unless,
if you're,
you know,
like if your terms and conditions are more than a page, you should be fined.
Yeah, I mean, it's well, I tend to, you know, agree on a basic level, but knowing all the legalese that they have to
like
put
it
in
should
there.
come with a glossary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you have to get familiar to it. It's written in a language that not a lot of people understand. I've been a paralegal for 10 years. I'm just, you know, finally at a place where I really can take these documents in and read the indemnification section and know what it means, and read the limitation of liability section and know what it means.
Or
And
copy
yeah, I don't know.
AI. Like copy and paste it into ChatGPT and ask what it means. Like ask ChatGPT to tell you what the limitations are of this.
Exactly. Yeah. And you know, ChatGPT isn't perfect at kind of breaking down those super legal nuances, but for the basics, for most people, just an end user signing up for a service, have ChatGPT summarize it for you and just tell you what you need to. Typically, what I would look for is what you're on the hook for, what you're indemnifying them for. So for example, when you sign up for a TikTok account, sorry, I'm getting super nerdy. When you sign up for TikTok,
it's really helpful for people to know.
Okay, good. When you sign up for TikTok, they just in one of their most recent terms of service updates, they changed the terms of service. So you have to indemnify them for any copyright violations. So say, for example, TikTok is putting together an ad and they use a clip from your video. Any video you upload to TikTok can be used for their marketing purposes. So you're agreeing to that by uploading to TikTok. But say you have copyrighted music, a Sabrina Carpenter song playing in the background. If Sabrina Carpenter and TikTok puts that in their ad, if Sabrina Carpenter, the copyright owner of that song, decides to come after TikTok for that ad, you are personally liable and responsible. So something I see a lot is, especially on TikTok, is people using, you know, copyrighted sounds or not disclosing things or an ad, not realizing like they could, the chances of someone going after them or one of these big, copyright owners going after them are low, but never zero. So it's like, just know what you're signing up for, know what your responsibility is, know what you're indemnifying them for, and know how you can exit the contract. Like I think there was that, one click, if you can sign up with one click, you have to be able to cancel with one click. So luckily that's like hopefully going to become the new norma-ish, but know how you can get out of it and know what you're agreeing to and know where your information is going that they're giving or that you're giving them, because a lot of terms and conditions say that they can sell your data too. And unfortunately, there's not a lot you can do. If you don't agree, you just don't sign up or you don't use that service. But it's good to be aware because so many people just click accept. It reminds me of that South Park episode from like 8 years and years ago where they make the human centipede out of everyone accepting the Apple terms and conditions. It's like hee hee ha ha, but with robots starting to take over our world, it's something that I always warn people about. So read the damn terms and conditions. I know it sucks, but if you need help, DM me on I'm happy to help.
You're like, uh-oh, your DMs are flooded now.
I know, right?
No, it's like, haha, it's funny when it's in a comedy, but no, I mean, like Black Mirror is scary in that sense too. Like if you watch that show, there's a lot of stuff that's like, you're like, oh, terrifying.
Like that guy on the hamster wheel that like gets so many, like, no. I mean, maybe
Right?
that would cure America of its, roundness that we seem to be leading the world in. So I don't know. Maybe that Black Mirror episode is not so bad. You got to ride a bike if you want to make, if you want to go outside for a couple hours.
No, but thank you for that though, Hannah. That's really helpful to know. Like, I'm just thinking about those of us who fall for like simple scams, let alone like, like people that you're like, how could they fall for that? This like, these things that seem blatantly a scam.
You mean like
for that?
You mean like when you get a call from somebody with an Indian accent and they go, "My name's Brian," and I'm like, probably not. Oh, really, Steve? I don't think so, bro. I don't think.
But what about our kids? Like, I fear AI with our kids, like posting your photos of your children or, as we get older, our grandchildren, as it advances. I think it's so scary. Some of the videos and some of the short docu-series you kind of watch on YouTube or Rumble, it's scary, the things that I've seen. And I'm like, I don't even know if I want to post my kid anymore when like on a family picture. That's sad. Like we're living in a world that's where the unknown is becoming more and more common than I feel comfortable with.
Even like I have like nieces and nephews that are like, they're all teenagers, and I have them blocked on like TikTok and Snapchat and Instagram because I don't want them stumbling across. I mean, like my niece is 13 and she like found me on TikTok and I posted a video about I don't know how to say it without getting in trouble. An event that took place outside of Seattle where a father got very upset at a daughter, had to do with Iraq. We all know the story I'm talking about. And I had to explain to my niece what happened in this story, and she's 13, and I wanted to jump out the window. And because I don't want them seeing the content that I put up, like, because I'm just Uncle Kevin, to them. But, I live this crazy ass life where my DMs are filled with people telling me how I should kill myself, which is always nice to see. It's great. I mean, they're nothing like Angela's. They're nothing like Angela's.
I think the internet is a place for adults, and yes. I think that's
when I found out my 13-year-old niece had a TikTok, I got to be honest with you, I kind of lost my shit.
Yeah, like, I mean, that in 13 isn't even crazy. Like, there's 8, 9-year-olds with TikToks. Like, I mean, I don't have kids, but I would like to think that I, wouldn't be an iPad parent. I think about it with my nephews and stuff. I don't post my nephews' faces even on, Twitter or anything, because you just never know. It's scary. Like with the AI stuff or with just creeps. Like, I don't know.
That's what I'm worried about. The creeps.
The average child gets an iPhone or a smartphone. I would assume an iPhone most at 11 years old. That's pretty scary. Snapchat, like when I've heard, because my sisters were younger than me, when I heard what my sisters were experiencing at like a pretty decent like high school just on Snapchat, I almost fell to the floor, and I was like, God, thank God Snapchat didn't exist back in the day. I think social media has just pushed kids, and I think it's crazy because parents are also sharing TikToks with their young children and TikToking with young children. And so it's inclining young girls to go dance half naked, like wearing my mother would have died. My parents would have died if I got on like AIM. Remember AIM, like AOL chat rooms? If I would have like posted in a crop top on like one of those chat rooms or in my like, you know, like my bio or whatever that was on AIM, my parents would have never let me back on a computer again.
Oh yeah.
Obviously times have changed, but like I look on, and I have friends that tell me like, I don't even know how I can't approach certain girls because I don't even know. They'll DM me and they're like, I don't even know if they're 20, like 19. They're like, I'm too afraid to even respond because there's no age in their bio. And they're like, I'm not trying to go to jail for like answering a 17-year-old.
If my father saw my AOL away messages, he would be like, you need to be institutionalized. Why is every one of your away messages like the worst emo song from 2004?
I was just gonna say, like, what? Like, I don't want everything I've ever posted from the time I was 10 years old to be accessible as a 30-year-old woman now. Like, thank God. I think I deleted my Facebook after middle school and like remade it. So it's like high school on. It's not that bad. But I think back, like, I'm so glad there's no record of 12-year-old Hannah online because we're all weird at 12. Everyone's weird at 12.
Like, how much Under Oath could I have listened to at 14? Like, why was I so mad all the time?
I was going to ask what you were listening to because you mentioned emo.
It was so bad. Like, I was just a big emo bitch. Like, it wasn't cute.
I was, and I
feel like everyone went through.
I was like a jock.
Warped Tour season.
So my friend is the lead guitar player in a cover band that does all like Warped Tour music, and it's like mostly regional. But like, I'll be honest, I go there with the rest of the millennials, and we lose our shit. It's great. The night's usually over by about 11:30, but yeah, no, it wasn't a great time. And when you find those photos, please don't post them. It was rough.
I mean, Warped Tour was just here in Orlando, and like I had friends who went to it, and they were like bringing their young kids. It was just, I don't know, it was interesting. But
now I'm hearing I'm hearing Blink-182 on the oldie station, and I'm just like, oh, I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm done. I am a fossil. I'm gonna start taking Metamucil pills.
Well, it also goes back, like, look at photos of all of us. Like, even, like, I'm 33, so I look at photos of myself, and then I look at photos of girls today. The number one buyer for Sephora is middle school girls. Like, you go in, and it's all middle school girls everywhere. Like, and so my thing is like, my mom would... I never even thought about wearing that kind of makeup every day to school.
As a girl, we have to go through the experimental blue eyeshadow, terrible at eyeliner, like showing up to middle school looking like a crazy person. That's all how you cut your teeth. You have to go through that to get to like, oh, I know how to do my makeup. I'm like a woman now. You have to go through that awkward stage. And girls these days are just skipping it. Like, I was so awkward looking from like age 9 to like 14 or 15, braces, all that. It's like we're losing that. We're losing the ancient texts of an awkward stage and of struggling to do your makeup and looking like a crazy person.
I totally get it.
My niece literally said, I don't want to look like one of those weird girls on TikTok. And I'm like, basically, if she doesn't want to like wear a crop top, wear a full face of makeup in like middle school, high school, she automatically gets painted as like a lib. It's pretty bad.
That is so. Even my niece is 13, and like I looked at her Christmas list, and I was like, "This bitch is insane. Like, you are not getting $150 leggings."
It's kind of ironic.
Lululemon. Like, I want to find that person and karate chop them in the throat. Like, are you kidding me? She wanted all. It was Sephora, and there's another makeup spot that's like crazy expensive.
Ulta.
Oh, that store can fuck right off. Like, not a chance. Like,
Ulta's the cheaper version of Sephora. Just so you know, for your shopping, Ulta's cheaper than Sephora.
that's the one up the street. So I was like, oh, it's right there. This
It's
is perfect.
convenient for you.
What
yeah.
happened to Claire's? Like when I used to get like the black stud earrings, like they were $7. It was beautiful.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Claire's might still be in business, but I feel like a lot of them have gone out of business. I don't even know if
I
they
think
still
they're going under. That's
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the vibe I get too.
How long can you survive selling puka shells and fake earrings? Like,
And Sephora was always I feel that it became a thing more like in 2013 most likely because I mean in middle school I didn't go through the ugly makeup phase, but I mean everyone I think has a different experience like depending on the time that they were born in on or like they went to high school.
Yeah.
There are some things that are a little too much.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I just got a little puppy, and she's so tiny.
Oh,
And she was like getting up and moving, and that's why I'm like, I keep like reaching down under my desk and everything.
What is
oh
that?
my gosh,
I
so
know, it
cute.
Oh,
Doesn't look real.
It's
that's like
Aw.
brand new.
I
Like,
know. It's
how do you
3
not
months.
lose that dog like in the house?
Yeah.
So I'm like, where are you going? Yeah. Anyways,
Aw.
sorry about that.
So sweet. No, absolutely. Okay, so I'm going to move us on to Trump versus Somalis. Trump's war on Somalis. So I have let me pull up some stuff real quick. We've got Trump says he doesn't want Somalis in the U.S., urges them to go back to their homeland and fix it. And we have a little video here as well. I don't know if you guys heard these comments, but I want to get your thoughts.
Contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%. They contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you. Okay? Somebody would say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country's no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country. I could say that about other countries too. I can say it about other countries too. We don't want them to hell. We have to rebuild our country. You know, our country's at a tipping point. We could go bad. We're at a tipping point. I don't know if people mind me saying that, but I'm saying it. We could go one way or the other, and we're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country. Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage. These aren't people that work. These aren't people that say, let's go, come on, let's make this place great. These are people that do nothing but complain. They complain. And from where they came from, they got nothing. You know, they came from paradise, and they said, this isn't paradise. But when they come from hell, and they complain, and do nothing but bitch, we don't want them in our country. Let them go back to where they came from and fix it. Thank you very much, everybody.
Mr. President, has the Bureau offered to leave? Yes.
What are your guys' thoughts on this? On his comments?
I mean,
Well, I'll let somebody else comment, but I wanted to talk about the issue because I'm from St. Paul, Minnesota, so.
Ah, please. But yeah,
I think you're most speak on it, please.
So you gotta to understand this problem, you gotta go back to the beginning, and where this all started was back in the 70s and 80s in Minnesota and Fresno, California. They brought Hmong people from. They had a civil war in Laos, Cambodia, Thailand, Vietnam, right? So they brought in refugees to Fresno, California, and St. Paul, Minnesota, Minneapolis, Minnesota. And they brought them in there and they relocated them. And for the most part, it worked, right? They assimilated. They culturally, there wasn't these huge clashes and stuff like that. And so in all their brilliant minds or whatever, liberal Minnesota, they were like, well, we're going to do the same thing with Somalia. And so they started bringing in Somalians to Rochester, St. Paul, Minneapolis, and it didn't work. It didn't. There wasn't this like. It just like it created a divide, and the cultures didn't mesh, and it just started to become more and more of a problem. And in St. Paul and Minneapolis, most of the people that I knew that lived there, and race is irrelevant here. Like they just all moved out of there, and the Somalians moved in now. They're in there, and they moved to Hudson, Wisconsin. They moved to the outskirts and stuff, and they basically invaded the entire area. And it's in terms of like what's happening there, or is it getting better, or are people it's getting worse. Like crime is getting worse. There's more problems. There's more like divide. There's more hostility. Like it's just not creating a good environment. And so like that's where in the other piece is I read somewhere today that over 50% of them are fraudulent, come here fraudulently in terms of like getting their citizenship, in terms of getting asylum, those types of things. But over 50% are fraudulent. So for me, it's like, well, what are we doing about that? We know that they're 50% fraudulent or whatever, and potentially even Ilhan Omar is a fraudulent case, right? And what are they doing about that? If you know these things, you know them to be true or whatever, like you have to do something about that. And if we don't do something about it, I really fear for our country. If we're in a place where we just can't do anything, we know there's blatant fraud, we know that these things are happening, and we can't do it now, then when can we do it? Because I can promise you that if we lose in the 2026 midterms, if we lose, or if we get a Democrat president, there's absolutely no chance of trying to solve these problems, and it's only going to get worse. So, because they won't even look into it, they'll amplify the problem.
I guess my question is, like, have you seen any efforts from like ICE or from this administration to come in and clean any of that up, get any of those people out? Like I'm just surprised, I guess, that that's not more of a conversation, because I haven't heard anything, not being from there.
So, well, I don't actually live there anymore. I live in South Georgia now, but what I heard is that ICE is going into the area now in St. Paul, Minneapolis, and they're going to start looking into some of these cases because, typically ICE is looking at, known visa violations, known, people coming over the border illegally, but they're, the fraudulent citizenship, fraudulent asylum cases or whatever are less well known, and not a concerted effort to come after that. And so what I heard, I saw online or whatever, that they're going into that area, and they're going to start weeding that out as well. And so thank God for that, because why shouldn't they? It's every bit as bad as somebody coming across the border. It's every bit as bad as somebody like coming here illegally or whatever. It's the same exact thing. They just came in a different way.
I am so sick and tired of having to apologize for not wanting to be like the battered woman shelter of the earth. Like it is America's downfall will be because people were afraid of nameless people on the internet saying the word racist. And I just don't give a shit anymore. And I want to be clear. It is that sort of mentality that has given rise to the sorts of people that many don't like. So take and whatever you feel about him, it's not a conversation about Nick in and of himself, but the closing of the Overton window to not be able to say anything is the reason why there are people on the internet who are now willing to say anything. And they're like, fuck you. There are no rules anymore. We are abandoning all pretense. And that's what's giving rise to a lot of these sort of Gen Z influencers that might say stuff that I disagree with. But It is people's fear of being labeled an istophobe about everything. And it's like, no, like there are cultures around the world that are not compatible with the United States. I said this to my to a friend of mine. He's from the UK and he's pretty liberal. I was like, yo, do you know how you get annoyed when I call it soccer? He was like, yeah. I go, so I want you to imagine 5 million Americans moved into London tomorrow and we all started calling it soccer. How annoyed you and your friends would get. And that's a sport that doesn't mean anything. Like, this is not, I mean, USA Today wrote an article about 12 years ago that 500,000 women in America have undergone female genital mutilation. And that's USA Today. That's not Breitbart. That's not Human Events. That's not the Post Millennial. The USA Today, the free newspaper that nobody reads in hotels, wrote that article, and no one took it seriously. No one took Ayaan Hirsi Ali seriously. Nobody took so many of these people saying, guys, this is a problem. And then you get places in the UK who are like, oh, I can't believe someone like Tommy Robinson is gaining traction. And it's like, Tommy Robinson is only gaining traction because you idiots ignored a gigantic problem, pretended it didn't exist, and now you get the groundswell. I mean, there was a video the other day came out. Hey, the IRA is back. Like in Ireland, what could possibly go wrong there? Because the people of Ireland are saying, no, we don't want this. And when you get these enclaves, it's not like in New York, Angela. You know, in New York, we got Chinatown, we got Little Italy, we got Koreatown, maybe 3-4 blocks, you got restaurants. It's not like that. When you take over an entire city, it's a problem. And I'm happy that President Trump is willing to say that if you come from a country that doesn't have a government, that doesn't have a functioning bureaucracy, you are not going to care if you rob this bureaucracy and send those remittances home. Remittances are the one thing that we don't talk about that is destroying the American economy. The money that is extracted, that is worked for in America, not spent at the local pizza place, not spent at the bakery, not spent at, whatever the hell it is you got in your town, but sent back to El Salvador, sent back to Guatemala, sent back to Somalia. Those dollars used to at least be able to be tracked through like Western Union. Now with Venmo and Cash App and all the other app, you can't even tax the stuff anymore. And I think that is something that we are not taking into account. And I'm sorry, like not all cultures are the same. I'm not saying one is good. I'm not saying one is bad, but not all cultures are the same thing. There are cultures that value different things. And if yours don't align with the American values, then you need to get the fuck out of here. And I don't
care. Come here.
Yeah,
let's be honest though, if you travel abroad in the summer, like if you go to Italy, if you go to London, they don't treat Americans like we're one of the same. If you go out of this country, they look at you like you're American, and they have their stereotypes like on you the minute you land and you walk off a plane. You know what they think. The way they respond. Some people are nice, some people aren't. But at the end of the day, every other country isn't as kind as we have been to a lot of countries who are not kind to us in general. And then we're just letting their family. Why are we picking fights with people and then letting their long lost cousin come live in America? So what? We blow up their grandparents while they're here on American soil, so they turn around and blow up our grandchildren in a couple years? I'm out.
And I felt this way for a while, and I've always been like this. I am so done apologizing for America by people who come from places that have more UNICEF camps than indoor plumbing, and I'm supposed to apologize that we welcomed you into America, like this guy that shot up the National Guardsman in DC. Like, bro, you left like Afghanistan, came to America, and you still weren't happy? Like, I'm sorry, bro, I can't help you. And there are some countries, Somalia being one of them, that we have tried to help for the last 35 years. Black Hawk Down was in 1991. Like, it was a shithole then. It hasn't gotten any better. And all we did was import the people who are from there. Like, I'm not, it is not my responsibility to house, feed, clothe, educate the totality of the world's poor. If there's a natural disaster, like Haiti has a hurricane, or like there's an earthquake somewhere, we want to send aid, like water and shit, I got no problem with that. We're the richest country in the world. We should be able to help people that are actually struggling. But to send $8 billion a year to North Korea so they don't bomb us, like, no, bro, I'm done.
But what? No, I just got a ton of shit, death threats. Like, I have the screenshots. I got crazy death threats coming my way because I went on and said, no, I don't care if Ukraine became a parking lot. I'm sick of the American tax dollars. We're like the American Express for the free world. Mm-hmm. And it's been like that for years. And it's hurt all of us. And in Minneapolis, there's a ton of manufacturing companies. You guys want to talk about AI replacing jobs? The average plumber, they say the answer is trade schools, right? Well, if the average trade school is filled with Somalians and not Americans, or they're paying a Somalian less than the American, and that's who's going to get the job, we're going to see Americans out of job, and then we're going to see the Somalians still making the money. And then on top of that, if, God forbid, we lose 2028, and I'm not optimistic on midterms, if we lose 2028 to Gavin Newsom, borders are open. We're 40, 50,000 people away from losing our country. Bottom line. Look at what's going on with Trump. Look at what's going on with redistricting. Look at what's going on in our cities. Socialism is on a rise for a reason, and it's because they appeal. The Mandani and all of these people, that's who appeals to them.
And you know what? Honestly, and I'm so sick and tired of Republicans who were like, oh, the 2025 election, it was New Jersey, it was New York, it was Virginia. They were going to go blue anyway. We got fucking smoked in Georgia, in Mississippi. Jack Ciattarelli, who I like, Jack a lot, he got 150,000 more votes than he did last time, and he lost by 10 more points. Like, the people who can't, I mean, right now, this, what the hell is her name? Afton Ben in Nashville, she's currently down 300 votes with 55% of the vote in. Trump won that district by 22 points. Like, I wish, can I share my screen? I don't know how to do that. But like, I think I can. Oh, here we go. Share screen. Can I do that here?
Nope. I don't know. We have never done it before.
Hold on.
You can try it. That'll be a fun experiment.
Oh shit, I can. If you
should be able to.
Angela, if you can you pull that thing up in the bottom? Do you see the extra screen in the bottom right there?
Mm-mm.
Oh, only I can see it. All right, never mind. But yeah, she's only down by 300 in a district that Trump lost. That Trump won by 22 points. And that, look, I get it. It's a special election. Call it what you want to call it. But if people don't wake up and see that the writing is on the wall, and I want to be clear, and what's so wild about it, is that based on population movement, if we win in 2028, we may never lose another election mathematically. Like, just based on the electoral college shift, with New York and California losing so many votes, Tennessee gaining, Florida gaining, Idaho is going to gain an electoral college seat. Like, we may never mathematically lose it ever again. The blue wall stops being Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and becomes New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. Like, so just in that movement alone, in 32, we may never lose the Senate ever again. The House, we'll see about the redistricting stuff, but people need to understand that too many people think that Trump winning was the end all be all. And it took nefarious, corrupt people 30, 40, 50 years to destroy this country. If you think that you're going to fix it in one election cycle, you're on drugs. If you think one man is going to fix it, you're on drugs. Because we have 11 months until the midterms. If we lose that midterms, the Trump agenda dies.
Kevin, try to share your screen one more time. I think I just figured it out. Maybe. If you still want to. Yeah. Boom.
Yeah, so wow, look at us, real fucking time. So this is real time election results in a district that Trump with 55% in, Van Epps is up, what is that, 800? Like, this is tight. This is not like the runaway it should be.
But I do think that like our main problem right now, like I would say like in the right wing, is identity politics, and I do believe that most people, if these threats like start happening, they will not vote Republican again. For example, we saw that, I believe it was in Virginia, there was like a place where the majority voted for Trump in 2024, but they voted Democrat for, I believe it was the governor, and this was this area was predominantly like of Indian, I believe. So I do believe that that is a problem. Like, America needs to unite around shared values and not necessarily around like the racial problem that's going on in social media. As for what's happening like with the Somalians, like, is it a problem? Yeah, but that happens when large numbers of people kind of like enter a country without properly assimilating, right? It does create fragmentation. So, but at the end of the day, I do believe that if Republicans do rely in identity politics, all of those small gains that were made in 2024 towards a more like American, I would say, framework is just going to get undermined, and we're probably going to lose elections.
Yeah, and look, historically, presidents who are in power don't win their first midterms. You know, I think going all the way back to Bush too was the last time the Republicans won. The party in power kept the House in the midterms, and that was after 9/11. So that almost doesn't count. You know, we saw the Tea Party
automatically lose 24 seats, 24 to 26 seats. If you have the White House, you automatically lose 24 to 26 seats.
And look, let's be honest, the coalition, anyone out there who wants to say that the MAGA base is not divided right now, you're not living in a world that the rest of us are living in. You got Tucker Shapiro, you got Fuentes and AIPAC, you got the people who all of a sudden hate Marjorie Taylor Greene for no fucking reason. You got the libertarian Massey crew, like, you got the Trump can do no wrong people. You got the neocons. Like, we are so divided right now. You got the people out there who just like to yell Epstein on Twitter all day long and think that that's gonna like materialize. Like, I got news for you. That's once they release that, no one's gonna learn anything new.
Yeah, I don't think that
such a waste of time.
You know, I love that people think that an international pedophile ring kept an Excel spreadsheet of oh, here we go. We've got Clinton on Monday. We've got Dershowitz on Tuesday. We've got Wexner on Wednesday. I would know, bro. Bookies.
It's all going to be redacted. Everything by law, they have to redact all the big names. They have to redact dates. They have to redact a ton of. It's going to be so redacted that it's not worth it. And in the end, we all know. Listen. All the men that have been in the media 100 times for cheating on their wife, being married 5 times, whatever it is, I don't care. And I don't mean that as a dig to the men, because women are just as bad these days. But when talking about Epstein, that is what we're talking about here. Mm-hmm. We're talking about the Bill Gates of the world. We're talking about the Bill Clintons. And I hate to say it, I know there are cabinet members of Trump that were neighbors to Epstein are going to be on in the files. Mm-hmm. We know it. Okay. So like, let's just pretend and like go on with it.
And you know what it is that people who like took a photo with him once are going to be in the files. Like, I don't know who the hell. You know how many pictures I've taken with people who I have no idea who they are? Like, I was at Mar-a-Lago the other day. I met like 80 people I've never met before. I don't know who these people are. Like, no one's going to learn, even if there was like some sort of black book, if there's 100 names in there, maybe you've heard of 5. Like, do you know the former managing vice president at Deutsche Bank? No, I don't. I have no idea who that is. Or like, Harvey Weinstein's deputy assistant. I don't know who the hell that is. There's going to be 5 names you've heard of. It's going to be Dershowitz. It's going to be Clinton. It's going to be Lex Wexner. It's going to be the Israeli prime minister and Prince Andrew. Those are going to be the only names you've heard of. Like there's like a list going around out there where like every celebrity who happened to be a dick for the last 10 years, oh, he's on Epstein. I don't think Eminem's going on Epstein Island. I'm going to roll. I don't think Kathy Griffin got invited there. And I want to be clear. I really dislike Kathy Griffin, but I don't think she's going to wild underage sex orgies in the Virgin Islands. At least I very much hope not, because the idea of that woman naked makes me understand gay men a little bit more.
So I want to highlight some things in the chat. First of all, I don't know if you know Sebastian, Kevin, but he's saying that you're 100% spot on, but that was...
Well, you know what? He's now the best person watching the show. So, Sebastian...
I know you get some pushback, so I wanted you to get some compliments, And I also want to highlight when people disagree, because in the spirit of having conversations, it's okay for us to disagree. So you can disagree with the panel, Anthony, but... You sound angry, first of all. You guys are crazy. Fine, that's totally your opinion. You're entitled to it. You won't win. People are done. But what nonsense? Like maybe like give us some, and questioning the education level of the panel. But Anthony, like give us something to work with. Like what do you actually think? Like what are you actually disagreeing about? Like what questions can we answer?
By the way, Anthony, double bachelor's degree with a major in international relations. I don't really hold that up there because I'm not a pretentious asshole.
Yeah,
I got a degree.
I graduated from the Hatfield School of Government at PSU, and I didn't become a leftist. So
yeah, so we can all wave our diplomas around, or we could just not be, like I said, just pretentious. What is the?
I feel like we haven't said anything that crazy either. Like not super controversial. Like we're just chatting.
Like I love when they do the like education. I got news for you, okay? My buddy Mike dropped out of high school in 9th grade. Okay, A, he makes more money than any person we know, and B, he can build a house from the ground up. So you can take your art history degree and blow it out your ass, okay? Because I don't need any theater majors talking to me about international relations.
I mean, but okay, so yeah, it's just a lot of it's with the name calling and the insults. I just don't think it's like the best way to have conversations, because people shut down. That's not how we, like give us some information. Like, I don't know. And you just,
I'm never rude first.
Why so angry?
I'm never rude first. I'm always rude last. That's my rule.
That's pretty mild. You should go into some of the comments under my post, but
you know what?
That's Thunderdome there.
I'm just more creative. So like when I am a jolly fellow, but when you're a dick, I'm gonna be a dick back. And
'tis the season.
That's it. By the way, it is December, almost the end of December 2nd, and I haven't heard Mariah Carey yet, and it is fucking spectacular.
Ooh. Now you're gonna hear it.
No,
I haven't heard her name. I haven't heard her yet. I've gone almost 3 days. I'm so excited. I will jump out of
right
this
now
game
for
show.
you. We'll change that.
We'll play it for you.
Yeah, exactly. No, but I do want to welcome, like, it's okay to not agree. Like, that's totally fine. But I think your approach and your tone, it says a lot. And just give us specifics, like give us a question, like we'll totally, so we're not hiding from anything. And we do try to get a very diverse panel. I think, like we agree on a lot, but we disagree on things. And like, it's all about conversation. So I do want to welcome people who disagree or have different opinions or beliefs. Like that's part of it. That's what we're trying to do here, is try to, be solution focused and bridge gaps and realize, come to some agreements and common ground and bridge gaps. So, but yeah, so I don't want anyone to think
your
I'm
audience
them because they're negative. What's that?
I think
it's just your audience. It's like this, Angela. They're not nice.
Yeah, but I also think it's like really easy. I always give everybody credit, even people on the left. I give people credit for going out and speaking. They're having the balls to say what they do, because a lot of these people have like these accounts. They're not their real names. None of them have like a real picture behind them. there's no way to like find out who these people are, and they'll argue with you and they'll say all these things about you. They'll question. And it's like you find out these people will probably like work at like Dairy Queen. Like, not that that's a bad thing or job, but at the same time, you're asking my education level. You're asking where we all work, why we are credible for what we say. At the end of the day, we're all Americans and we're all just giving our opinion. But I do love how everyone, you know, if you put your face out there now, where I am seeing more people like from X getting these spaces and getting on and showing face, I think it makes a huge difference because people actually can put a face to the account and to the statement. Where when you're just like a voice on X, you can say a lot of ballsy things. I've also found out that a lot of the people, like you find out a lot of the people you find on X don't really look like their photo. It's like 30 years old or something. And you're like,
oh yeah. It's so interesting you say that because and this is a general statement. I would say with the exception of like 2 accounts on X, if you're not using a picture of you, I don't care.
Yeah. Really.
Like, I don't, because, and you look, some of those people, I've met them in real life, so I know they are a human. I've had dinner with them before, but I'm like, if you've got the balls to be a smartass, have the balls to show your face, because so many people now have gotten way too comfortable with talking shit and not getting punched in the fucking face. Like, in the MySpace days, if you spoke like that to people and then went to high school right afterwards, you would get the shit beat out of you. But like now we're just so like bifurcated that like the douchiest people on the internet you'll never meet, you'll never see, they never appear at anything you're at. And like, so people have the liberty to be like just genuinely, I mean, look, I'm kind of a dick, but like I'll be a dick in person. To you, not anyone here, because you guys are all awesome. But like me and Angela, right? Like we met in person and we're awesome. It was great. Like we laughed, we had a good time. Like some people on the internet, like those 2 twins who never leave their house, are just giant assholes. Like they never have to worry about anything. No one in particular. I think they've been on this show. Well, only one of them has, because there is only one of them. New conspiracy theory. There's only one Krasenstein.
Brian Krasenstein was on Bold Talk.
There's only one of them. Okay.
That's what you're maintaining. Yeah.
They're always wearing the same thing in everything. It's just like a Snapchat filter. There's only one Krasenstein. That's a fact. But no, I actually like. I spoke with one of them. I don't know which one it was, but too many people are like way too comfortable under like nameless, faceless accounts being a dick. And I'm like,
yeah,
like, please, bro, come outside. Like, I don't want to say it, but catch me outside. How about that?
I've also told a lot of Republicans, we know X has become an echo chamber. Let's not lie. Like, it's a lot of the same people. It's a lot of the same voices. I've told congressional candidates and you know, depending on their numbers, where they fall, like go make a Blue Sky account. Like, or if you really want to make a difference, get on Blue Sky and start talking. Because even though, and I'm very Republican, I'm not libertarian. I don't fall, I'm pretty far right on certain things, but I will say that it never hurts having a conversation, and there is a safe place for it. You don't have to go and cause a fight somewhere, but you can get on there, be who you are, and just go have that conversation. Because all the Democrats left X. Like, there's only a very few that we can beat up on. And I'm sure they'll beat up on us, but there are people that it could really impact, I think, some of these midterm races. So if you are in like a, you know, a place where there's definitely a lot of independents, I highly recommend pushing certain people to get on Blue Sky and in other places where there are Democrats, because if they don't ever hear what you have to say, then you have no chance of winning their vote.
By the way, they called the race in Tennessee the Republican one.
Thank God.
Thank God, yes.
Thank God, because let me tell you something.
Wait, we lost you.
Yeah.
I will have to go. I have
yeah.
give my mom
Thank
some
you. No, no worries.
guys. I love the conversation. been
Thanks
amazing.
so much, Gabby, for being here. Did you want to, just let people know where they can find you real quick or shout anything out?
Sure. I mean, it's my name that's here. It's Gabby on X. That's what I kind of use and have some, interesting opinions that I share sometimes. It's been amazing being with you guys, and I hope to be here another time.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. You rock. I really appreciate you joining us today. We'll talk soon.
Bye.
Bye. Sorry, yeah, we lost you for a sec, Kevin. What were you saying?
You got me?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, like I was gonna make a joke that like men always say that women are nuts, and it's because of women like the Democrat running in Tennessee, because that woman is batshit crazy. Like did you hear the rant she went on about how she like sits in the middle of she has dreams that she sits in the middle of rooms and yells about how excited she is to not have kids, and like how in her dreams she sees like women who have children, and she's like, why wouldn't you just want power? Why wouldn't you just want
Seems
that?
well adjusted.
Yo, she's like, I'm telling you, she's like, and not like the stereotype that the guy that can't keep his mouth shut. Oh, Anthony. Come on, bro.
Well, for a minute there, the Democrat you were describing sounded like me.
No. Ashton Bay.
Child-free.
She's nuts.
Right. I'm not nuts. I'm not.
No, you're not.
I don't know. I haven't seen her. I'll
You're
have
lovely.
to check her out. Thank you.
I'm from the left, and I would easily put my resume against any of you. All right, well, I got the first gay sociopath elected to Congress, so I win.
We're not paying it any more attention until,
Nah, you got to feed the trolls. Eventually, they grow like a chia pet.
Okay, I know, guys. Thank you so much for all of your time. Do you want to? Well, I was going to play this fun clip of White House Christmas decoration battle real quick because it's fun to comment on. So, if you guys want to check it out real quick, and then before you have to, I know if you have to head out, I totally get it, but. In case you can't tell, the top is the Trump administration, and obviously it's Trump versus Biden. Top is Trump, and bottom is Biden's White House Christmas vibe, shall we call it? Interesting.
Very much so.
Yeah. What are your
so
initial reactions?
I'm so happy we're done with that.
Yeah.
What was that? That was like the shittiest Broadway play I've ever
What?
seen.
With the like slow instrumental music in the back. No offense, Angela, but it was kind of giving a bold lip dancing TikTok with like like that's what I was thinking in my mind. Like, oh, they're just dancing to this like slow instrumental music and like it doesn't match up. But I love it.
Look,
and I had no music.
And
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And look, I don't mean this in like a sexuality way at all, but that Joe Biden video was so gay.
Well,
things can be gay without having anything to do with sexuality.
It was so gay. Like, it was nothing to do with who you sleep with. I don't care. Sing a song, do a dance. Love gay people. Like that bottom video was so gay.
It's creepy. It's like so it's not very Christmassy. Like it's like
yeah, that's what I was. It's like not even Christmassy at all. It was just kind of
it's like weird in like the way that clowns are weird. Like it's creepy and like gives really bad vibes. I don't know. Like the Melania.
It's like a fun house.
It was so extra, as the kids say.
Yeah.
The kids.
They're trying, yeah, exactly. They're trying to be something that they're not, right? You go to Joe Biden's house, you go to the Biden family Christmas or whatever. It doesn't look anything like that. You know what I mean? Like it's not representative of who they are. They're just trying to be extra to, appeal to the whatever the far left of the base. That's really what it is.
I just don't even know, but that's not even if they had like 12 trans people bumping around with like non-binary rainbow t-shirts.
Well,
that I would understand, but I don't even know what that was. It was like it looked like back to my emo days. It looked like the "I Write Sins Not Tragedy" video, where like clowns and like in weird makeup. That's exact. I'm so happy at least 3 of you moved. Jay has no idea what I'm talking about. So, which is great. Watch it afterwards. It's a terrible music video, but that's the vibe I got from it. Like the Panic at the Disco.
Yeah,
video.
Panic at the Disco. Yeah.
Throwback to Warped Tour again. You're really on your Warped Tour stuff.
He's gonna be going. Yeah, he's gonna be full on listening to like a Warped Tour playlist right after this.
Oh,
it's the next week.
I'm really not proud of how much I've admitted on this show so far.
I like it. I'm a fan. That's in my wheelhouse. But no, I mean, I am a musical like fan. It's giving music right. I could get behind it, but it does. I don't know. It's very theatrical. It's very exaggerated, and I'm not sure like why. I don't know. It's very extra. Yeah, you're right.
It's very extra. I don't know. I'm not totally sure what that means, but I think I've got the parlance correct.
It's also, I don't know, like it's giving like trying too hard, like not like authentic, like not genuine. I think, which is kind of to your point, Kevin. Like it's not
they're trying way too hard.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, meanwhile, you have Melania who is just like, I mean, she's perfect. Like she's got someone in the chat said elegance versus clown show, but like Melania truly is like elegant, which is not a word you throw around like the way people throw around like hot. Like
she's not acting.
She's
not acting there. Yeah. That's how she is.
Very classy.
Well, I appreciate you guys weighing in. I thought that would be a fun way to wrap things up. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you for all of your time. I want to give you guys a chance to kind of shout anything out, give your handles where people can find you. Maddie, if you want to go first. I know you have your little dog to attend to. So
I feel bad. I wasn't planning on that. So you can follow me on X, the Madeline Elizabeth, or on social media. And if you DM me your address, I do have a lot of fun clients, but Bish for Congress is definitely one of the best. We are going to have merch, and I will send everybody on this panel something for Christmas. And then if you DM me something, then I will definitely send you out something else. I'll send out some of the people who were actually here to listen for a gift.
That's so nice. That's really generous and kind of you. I appreciate you so much. It was so nice to get to, meet face to face, and you had so much, so many amazing like points and information to weigh in on this. So it was a great, I'm really glad that you were here to join the conversation, and hopefully we can do it again.
Yes. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. And happy holidays if I don't see anybody, and Merry Christmas.
Thank you. You too.
Madeline, I'll trade you a shirt because I have my own clothing line. So I'll send you some. You pick something out for you.
I'm all in.
Let's do it.
Look at this spirit of the holidays. I love it. Hannah, do you want to, well, I know your handle's on here so everyone can find you there.
Yes, my handle is there on X. I'm on Instagram too. My link is in my X bio, but it's the same username. Tonight is my first night using my new mic and my setup, so maybe I'll hop on my own stream on X. We'll never know, but I guess I plan to hop on a few more streams here and there, and maybe do one of my own. So follow me over there.
Fantastic. Happy to have you anytime. Thank you so much, and hopefully we can get together with Chrissy soon too. That would be fun. Yeah,
that would be so fun.
Awesome. Jay, what about you?
You can,
Here on X.
yeah, you can see my handle there. That's my same handle on TikTok, YouTube, and Rumble. But I got 2 shows this week. I got a whistleblower scandal in Idaho that we're going to be talking about with Senator and Congresswoman from Idaho. So we're going to talk about that. And then I also have a congressional candidate from Georgia, Brian Montgomery, on Thursday night. So 2 different shows on Thursday night. So check it out.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jay. Always appreciate you. And I hope those, shows go really well this week. Kev, what you got going on this week?
You guys can follow me on X. My handle's right there, Kevin_Smith45. Or Loud Majority US on Rumble. I go live every day at 3 p.m. Every day, nonstop. Or head on over to loudmajorityusa.com. Check out the store. We've got all original stuff over there. We actually just put up a 250th anniversary edition of Pro America stuff. So check that out, and you can use code Black Friday to get 25% off. So I do appreciate. It's all original stuff. It's not like people just rip shit off Etsy. I actually spend a lot of time making the stuff. So if you guys want to support, check it out.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kevin. Thank you guys all. I appreciate you. I couldn't do this and have these conversations without you. So, to Maddie's point earlier, it's important for people to want to come and have the conversations. And so I couldn't agree with that more. And it's something that I think it's a criticism I have of people on the left. And it's something we've shown like Bill Maher talking about as well, is like a lot of people on the left, a lot of Democrats won't come on the shows. Like they won't, I don't know. So it's something that's been important to me. And yeah, you'll get a lot of pushback for it, but I think it's super important. And so I can't tell you how grateful I am for all of your time, for being here. And yeah, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. And I wish you all the best, sending you love. We'll talk soon. Thank you so much, guys. You're awesome.
Thanks, Angela.
Thank you. All right. Bye, guys. Okay. Well, any final comments in the chat, guys? Go for it. I'm looking, I'm reading. I really appreciate you all being here. This has been awesome. We've had a great audience, a great chat going. What an awesome panel tonight. This is the biggest one that Bold Chat has ever had. So much so that I was like, because of being able to bring up clips and things like that. But it was so cool. Everyone was so lovely. Once again, I know that all of these topics and politics and everything that's going on is really heated, and people are passionate, and I welcome that. I think that's important. I mean, it affects all of us. It affects all of our lives. But we do, by having these conversations, when you actually can come into it with an open mind and an open approach of not just hate and name calling and negativity. And I think that's so important, to just listen, to be able to come into it. Sure, you have your ideas, you have your opinions, you have your beliefs that you come into it with, but just trying to be open and receptive to hearing what other people have to say. And you can hear them out, you can actively listen, and you can still disagree with them at the end of the day. It's not hurting anything. But by resisting that and just canceling people, and without even really, actually trying to listen or see what they're saying or their points of view, I just don't think it's helpful. I just feel like it's sad to me to see so much hate and division and anger and aggressiveness. And so I understand that a lot of people don't understand what I'm trying to do, but I think I've gotten a response that a lot of people do. And just, because I have a certain panel on doesn't necessarily mean that I agree with everything that they're saying. We all sort of present, our thoughts on stuff, but I do think there's more common ground than people sometimes give credit for. And I think that's where things kind of can get confused and misinterpreted in terms of where I'm coming from. I'm welcoming people on the left, people on the right. We've got, you know, liberals, we've got conservatives, we have libertarians. Like, it's a conversation of a lot of different people, a diverse, you know, meant to be representative. So I'm just trying to have conversations with as many people as possible, whether that's in person, whether that's on streams, whether that's on the podcast episodes. And I do feel like a lot of beautiful progress in, you know, the time. It's been a while now, you know, starting with X Spaces and now with the live streams and the podcast. It's been a pretty decent, you know, journey of information that I have to reflect on at this point. And a lot of, to me, feels like a lot of good is coming out of it. So I just hope that people can like think about that and actually consider that it might be true, and not think that I'm getting paid and I've changed and I'm not a liberal anymore. You know, again, unboxable, right? I always say I'm not into labels, I'm not into boxes. And I think we need to think outside of the box more. I do think we have a tendency in our society to want to figure things out in a certain way and put things in a box, and people included, and create narratives and think we know them and we think we know what's going on. But I encourage you to try to think outside the box and really actively listen to what someone is saying and where they're coming from. And again, if you at the end of the day don't agree and you still believe what you believe, no harm, no foul, right? I mean, what's the problem with that? I think that that's better than being closed off and kind of having an ego and thinking that you're right about everything. So much so that you're not even willing to talk to someone or to entertain it with someone else. But I mean, you can still explain to someone, express to someone why you believe what you do or why something is important to you. I encourage everyone to do that. So I just wanted to say that just because it's on my heart, you know, because we obviously got a little pushback in the chat, but that's okay. Like, that's normal. I encourage you guys to speak your truths, and I just hope that we keep doing that instead of shying away from it, and just, you know, be just considering our approaches when it comes to talking to people about these things. So I do appreciate you all for being here so much. I know we're over time, but I was going to show a little promo, a little clip of Bold Talk from Friday with Lily Gaddis was my guest this past Friday. I'm going to show a little clip and remind you that a new episode will be coming out this Friday. Bold Talk podcast episodes come out every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And the Bold Chat live streams are every Tuesday at this time, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern time, and Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So hopefully you'll join us on Thursday as well. We'll have an all new panel, another great conversation. If you have not already checked out the link in my bio, please do, and follow me over on Rumble. And that way you can see all of the live streams, all of the podcast episodes. Without further ado, let me find my little clip of Lily Gaddis. Sort of walk me through, you know, the 24, 48 hours, like what that was like after the N-word video went viral. How did you feel, and like what was going on for you?
I mean, I didn't feel bad. I didn't feel like I needed to apologize because I didn't do anything wrong. But I don't think, if you've never experienced that, because it was like millions of people doing this. It's like big, it's like Daily Mail, TMZ. I don't think people can really grasp how that feels when it really does feel like, I know you got a lot of supporters and you accrue fans and supporters and people who care, but the bad voices always outweigh that. So, you know, and I'm like very much, you know, a private person. So it was weird having people dig through my personal life. Not that I have anything to hide, but it's still weird when they're like, you see your parents' faces pop up, and somebody docs like my grandmother's obituary. And I was like seeing that on the timeline. I'm like, whoa, this is kind of crazy. And then my mom is a rock. I love my mom. She's always like right there. She's like the ride or die. Like if I came home with a body in the back of my car, she'd be like, okay, where's the shovel? But my brothers were not pleased because they got doxxed as well. So then, you know, you have like family coming at you as well. So it wasn't easy. It was pretty miserable for about a year. But I was just like, if you just press forward, the sun will always come out again. You know, it's a dark time, but it will get better, and it has gotten better. So it's good to be able to find the people who are on your side, because at that point, when you go viral, there's all the conspiracy theories, the rumors about you, the lies. And it seemed like it was everybody. The right wing was out to get me. The left wing, obviously, every minority, basically everybody. So, but that's kind of relaxed now, and I've kind of found my lane, and people somewhat leave me alone now. So it's fine, but it's not easy when millions of people want you dead. So
I mean, yeah, I don't think, most people can imagine, especially at that level. You know, like I've definitely dealt with a lot of, like I've gotten death threats, I've gotten swatted, but to that level, I can't even imagine, like you said, TMZ and just it being everywhere and your family getting dragged into it. And yeah, I think support system is huge.
right.
Obviously, that was another thing where your resilience over the years really came in handy and helped get you through. And yeah, sounds like a really tough time. Yeah, so guys, definitely tune in. If you have not seen the episodes, you can go over to the link in my bio, check out Rumble, and watch all of the previous podcast episodes. And then the new one will release this Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So really looking forward to that. I will release who the guest is soon in the next day or two. I just wanted to say thank you for this, Anthony, because I appreciate this is good feedback. Totally am listening that you felt it was pretty one-sided, but no disrespect to you. I appreciate that. So I just wanted to highlight that. I do really appreciate your respectful comment and feedback. And thank you so much to Network Access Group. You guys rock. Thank you for making these streams and podcasts possible. Bold Chat and Bold Talk. Appreciate you. And another reminder to follow the Bold Lib to see all our incredible content. Thank you so much. So yeah, again, head to the link in my bio to follow me over on Rumble. And guys, we'll see you next on Thursday. We'll have another Bold Chat live stream, 3 p.m. Eastern time. And then tune in for Bold Talk on Friday. And I just want to say I appreciate you all so much. And I appreciate all of thank you so much, Quiet Pod. You're always so great about coming in and bringing all of your followers and guests into the stream. And I really appreciate all of your comments, all the Davids. I see you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you to everyone for reposting the stream. Hannah, I see you. Thank you so much for always, for sharing, for being here, the comments. I really do like to make it as interactive as possible. So I do really appreciate you guys interacting with us. It makes it a lot more fun. And also, to hear your thoughts. It's so important to hear what you guys are all thinking and how you're responding to the information and what the panel is saying. So that makes us, smarter as well, and, think about the things, our own opinions and beliefs. And the more the merrier. So please continue to tune in and chat with us and interact. And I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. I hope it wasn't too stressful or dramatic with, speaking of family and politics and things like that. I hope everyone had a really lovely one and is maybe in the holiday spirit. I know the holidays can be tough for people too, especially depending on your family situation. So, in the spirit of looking out for people's mental health, which is really important to me, just try to be kind, because people do have a really tough time around the holidays. So not everyone has the best support system in their life, and the holidays can make it really tough because, you can feel more alone. So just a reminder to be kind to each other and to take care of your mental health and those around you. And I guess that's it for tonight, guys. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of your night. We'll see you on Thursday for Bold Chat at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you, and I look forward to talking to you soon.